Most Tory MPs want Boris Johnson to be replaced. That's my belief. Feel free to add yours in the comments. My name's Mike Cashman. If you find this interesting, please subscribe to the channel Britannia Waves the Rules. Now, we can look at these MPs, we can categorise them according to cabinet or junior minister, etc., and see what their motivations are. It's been said that most Tory MPs don't like Boris Johnson. Now, normally that would be irrelevant. I don't know what it is about the lying, deceitful, incompetent, untrustworthy, shyster charlatan that puts them off, but there it is. Apparently, they don't like him. Normally that would be irrelevant because there are two factors that come into play. Firstly, is the leader an electoral asset or not? Is he likely to increase your chances, if you're an MP, of retaining your seat and forming a government? And secondly, are you likely to get a job within that government, or have you got one? Now, the electoral asset factor is rapidly turning around, according to the opinion polls and according to the talk in the Commons tea rooms, I'm told. And notice, it doesn't actually have to be that he is no longer an electoral asset. The crucial thing is that it's generally accepted amongst Tory MPs that he's no longer an electoral asset. But let's just look at the attitude to Boris Johnson, particularly concerning the question of getting a job by each section of Tory MPs. So first of all, we've got the cabinet. Now, some are very obviously making a pitch for the top job. Liz Truss getting pictured, the head sticking out of a tank like Margaret Thatcher, holding fizz with Liz dinners to woo the new Tory MPs. But rest assured that plenty of others are having conversations to establish who would potentially be their supporters. And so they will all see the potential advantage of Boris Johnson moving on, and them people are prepared to have a go, normally kind of whatever the state of the poison chalice or whatever you call it. The immediate aftermath of Brexit was a bit of an exception, I grant you. Nobody else wanted to take over from Boris Johnson late 2020, when he was rumoured to be having thoughts of marching off into the lecture circuit. But now the damage of Brexit has been factored in to some extent. You can come in and you can come in on the basis of sorting out the mess. So cabinet members have an incentive to see Boris Johnson move on. Suppose you're somebody senior in the party but outside cabinet, and you have some standing in Parliament, perhaps chair of a select committee, Tom Tugendhat, Tobias Ellwood, Jeremy Hunt, Greg Clark. You're the sort of person who, on the basis of seniority, one would expect to be in cabinet, but you're not, and you're probably never going to be with Boris Johnson. You may fancy your chances as Prime Minister, but certainly you can anticipate that you would stand a better chance of getting a senior job if there was somebody other than Boris Johnson as party leader, almost whoever that was. The expectation before a change of leadership, I've said before, is very often that the new leader will follow exactly in the old leader's footsteps. That never happens. People go into politics to make their mark, and nobody wants to be a Me Too Prime Minister. Suppose you're a junior minister in Boris Johnson's government. So that's where you are in 2021 going into 2022. That may well be as far as you go within this term of the Parliament. You've been entrusted with that responsibility, potentially a rising star. You again might expect to benefit from a shake-up. Some people will leave the cabinet, some will be brought in. They'll be brought in, certainly one area they may be brought in from is the ranks of the junior ministers, and you will fancy your chances. Suppose you're a backbencher. If you're a backbencher with any ambition, well, it's 2 years into this Parliament, you haven't been given any job in the government yet, not even a junior ministerial role. You will probably reckon that your chances of promotion are better with a new leader. Now, I'm ignoring for the moment the old stagers who've been in Parliament for years and are never expecting to get any sort of promotion. And they might indeed support Boris Johnson, so that could be an exception. And another exception actually could be a junior minister with no particular ambition who feels that they've gone as far as they could be expected to go. But that's not a lot of potential supporters for Boris Johnson. And of course, it's become acceptable now to talk about the change of leadership. Interesting comment that Laura Kuenssberg reported from a senior Tory, that stage one of a leadership change, deciding that leadership change is needed, is complete. Stage two is the who and how and when, and stage two can take quite a long time. Might be better for the Tories, actually, and for the country, if it happened rather sooner. It's not etiquette among the Tories to talk very openly about the leadership change before the 54 letters are in, establishing the need for a leadership election. But there are acceptable ways to express your concern, saying that Johnson needs to get a grip, needs to change the staff around him, needs to be better protected, needs to get some kip, needs to do this, that and the other. And there are people anticipating a new Boris Johnson in 2022. This was forecast before, so people thought he would be a new man after COVID, that he'd be a new man, again, a one nation conservative after Cummings went. None of those predictions have come true. He's, continued to muddle through very much in the character of the way that he's done it before. And so those ways of supposedly expressing loyalty, but actually indicating that you're a bit discontented, we're hearing plenty of those, and those are the ones which express loyalty in advance, but rapidly turn into, well, yes, I thought a change was needed once the leadership election hots up. But what do you think? Do add your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you.